Carter Yakemchuk has been very impressive to watch in NHL preseason so far. He's making highlight reel plays and looking a lot better defensively than what we saw last season. Preseason is not the real NHL, but it can still give some insight into a player's development and how he might fit with the team in the future. Keeping this in mind, we're going to break down the most interesting shifts of his first 2 preseason games and look at how he is adapted to the different level of play and how his projection may change in the future.
Pick Yakemchuk, 30 goals in the Western Hockey League, and one thing Travis Green said, I really like the energy that he's brought, and he's got that.
Yakemchuk is a highly aggressive player in all facets of the game. We see that in this first shift. He closes his gap early with his opponent, forcing a pass. Maybe he could have acted more conservatively, as the play turns into a 2-on-1, but that's mostly because the forecheck was caught deep in the zone. He makes the right read by staying with his man after, and then he defends the opposition physically. I like how he plays the opponent first on this puck retrieval. He doesn't go for the puck, but establishes body positioning so that the opponent can steal the puck from him, and then he reloads to the net and intercepts a pass. We see Yakemchuk's style again here.
An AHL All-Star played it inside the line.
He reads the stretch pass of a line change, jumps on it, and attempts a drag shot around a stick. Maybe he could have played this better with more speed or deception, but that's still a great play. We rarely see players just coming to the league try these kinds of deep pinches. And it's the same story again here. Yakemchuk plays a physical brand of defense. He establishes body positioning on the puck and boxes out opponents, focusing on their stick to prevent them from making a play on the puck. We saw him make these kinds of plays last year in the WHL, but he seems extra focused and engaged in this game, so his physical skills shine even more.
As Yakemchuk was able to deflect that away from the front of the net. Marner up with a key centers. That hit the ski.
Maybe he had an occasion to pull off a clean breakout if he turned back, but instead he opted for a rim because of the opponent directly on him. The breakout game is something we'll be monitoring with Yakemchuk this season. It was more of a weakness for him last year. Considering his skill level and puck protection abilities, he has more opportunities to make plays out of the zone. He's clearly capable of spotting his offensive opportunities, even against top players, and he has the confidence to seize those chances. That's a great give and go, and he continues moving into space to get the puck back and almost link up with another teammate in front of the net. So far, Yakemchuk hasn't had to defend the rush in movement, and that's to his advantage because he's not the most agile skater in those situations. But his gap is decent for the most part. He's giving the opposition a bit of space, but a step forward and an extension of his stick is all he needs to shut down many plays. He again shows great physical technique to neutralize the opponent. He doesn't dart for the puck, he conserves defensive side positioning, puts his leg in between the opponents, and guides him to the board, preventing him from making any kind of play. His teammates head the other way and he takes part in the offense. What you have to observe with Yakemchuk away from the puck is his activations, their timing and the routes he takes.
And he whipped that high. Patterson fires it across.
That's a nice scissor play here, and then he pulls the opponent toward him to give time to his teammate to attack this space. Here we see some of Yakemchuk's skating limitations. Nothing in the play is really his fault. The forecheckers head straight at the puck and they miss, creating a 2-on-1 on his side of the ice. He can't pressure the puck carrier, but he makes the correct play, sticking with Matthews and trying to box him out. Matthews beats him to the net, and the Senators forwards are still not defending properly. The one thing to note is that you will see this kind of posture with Yakemchuk quite often. As he doesn't have the most agile footwork, he compensates with his range, by hunching over and lunging at the puck and opponents. Sometimes it's good, and sometimes these long poke check attempts put him in bad spots. So far, this has been overall a great game from Yakemchuk, and he's going to make another impressive play here. Yakemchuk is a dangler, and we'll see him go through multiple opponents later in this video. But so far, he seems to be relying on give and goes a lot to move the puck up. Teammates are in the right spots, so it's easy for him to bounce the puck off of them to get around opponents. He seems to be adapting his game.
The net off the stick of Preseason. Liljegren fires it around. Weber gets there, but can't hold the zone. And it'll be Bourgault upended at center. Senators proceed, and here they come. Cole Reinhardt walked in. Wall will stop the rebound. He's down again, and it's still loose. And Wall, with his back turned. Is it in now? It is.
Here I just want to highlight his low slot defense quickly. That's a role it could fill in a penalty kill over the long term. The puck gets to the half wall, then to the goal line. Yakemchuk has his stick in the next lane as he anticipates the tic-tac-toe play. and then slides to try and prevent the between-the-legs shot. The timing is off by a fraction of a second, but it's a good play overall because he followed it well and used his range to his advantage. That range can't become his main defensive tool, however, as positioning and footwork remains more important. The way he lunges at the puck, with his weight fully forward, makes it easy for Marner to read his attention and pass across in this play. As he was in a 2-on-1, a more conservative approach, focused on denying the pass, might have been better. And we again see how his reach is both an asset and a weakness in the next shift.
Latest addition to the Brain Trust.
I was saying to Steve, I go, hey, what's the connection with Rob? He goes, yeah, I played with him in Boston. I looked at Steve and I go, I forgot you really even played in Boston.
He makes a first poke check and then a second one. And as his weight is completely forward, Marner knows it's time to cut back, as Yakemchuk won't be able to recover and change direction easily. A slight turn and Marner creates enough separation to open up a cross-ice passing lane. This last shift, however, is a pretty great defensive one for Yakemchuk. He combines skating and stick work. He's matching movement, not giving the inside, and he sweeps from the heel to the toe of the opponent's stick, which is a great technique and much harder for the opponent to avoid. And then he defends the net well, boxing out, spotting, and denying plays as they happen. The expectation with Yakemchuk in these preseason games is not to necessarily be ahead of the play defensively. As long as he can follow the system and the plays of the opposition and defend in a spot like this, it's already a success for him, especially considering some of his defensive weaknesses in the WHL. It's not time to change the evaluation and projection of his game, but he's showing some encouraging signs here. We're also going to quickly review his second game too. In the NHL, all details matter, like having your stick on the ice when defending and scanning for threats away from the puck. This is not the best start for Yakemchuk. He's passive, not watching the opposition on his left, his gap is too large. When he does try to make a play on the puck, he has his stick in two hands, which means he's giving plenty of time to the opponent to read and avoid his large sweeping poke check. It's not a big error, just a reminder to always be focused and tuned in. This is a good pinch, even if he misses the puck. We see Yakemchuk's playmaking side here. He manipulates the stick of the defender, locks it to one side of his body, turns back and nails this pass in a seam. And he does something even better after. He repositions inside space. Had his teammate waited an extra fraction of a second and looked across, this would have been an easy goal for Yakemchuk. And here's another good rush defense. He has a good angle, depth, and he's not lunging at the puck with his stick, just denying space and plays. He forces the opposition into bad space and closes on them, creating the turnover.
And brought back. Oh, score! Norris snaps it home, and Ottawa takes a 1-0 lead.
We all know that it's preseason hockey. We should always keep in mind that it's not the actual NHL setting. But we're already getting some clues that Yakemchuk's deception and feel for the offensive game will translate to the NHL. As he becomes more comfortable over the next seasons, his teammates will expect his plays even more, and that will just make him even more dominant.
Drops that back. Wide as Yakemchuk throws it back and front score! Got it, finishes the play that Yakemchuk started, and it's 2-1 Ottawa.
He can fake opponents, run around the zone, find passing lanes, and create them. And we didn't even see him dangle that much in these performances. He relied on his much more translatable passing game, and he moved the puck a lot quicker than at the junior level. We're also seeing some encouraging elements defensively. In his best moments, he used his stick and skating effectively. In time, if he can develop even more anticipation and correct some of his mechanics, he could become a lockdown, low-zone defender and a highly creative offensive quarterback. So far, he's giving his fans a lot of reasons to be excited.
Skeet and Halliday will play it across. And there's Yakemchuk. Carter Yakemchuk through center, got moved to the inside. What a move to the net! Scores! A brilliant goal by the Senators' rookie defenseman, Carter Yakemchuk.
So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. You can also check out eprinkside.com for more prospect analysis.